Yeah, I was scrolling through social media one day and I came across some videos of a very brave young woman posting about her daily struggles with something called Tourette syndrome. Now, I started following her and thought she would make such a great teaching tool at many different levels. Bailyn was once an athlete who was active in swimming and basketball. She graduated high school with a 4.2 GPA and began to attend college last year to chase her dream of becoming a nurse. But this is Bailyn now.
Yeah, you fat slob. I need a top. Hello. Dana wins. You're done. You're done.
Now, Bailyn's parents, Julie and Alan, say once the pandemic hit, Bailyn drastically transformed from an independent young woman to needing care almost like a toddler. Julie and Alan learned that Bailyn had an aggressive form of Tourette syndrome, which rapidly progressed during her time at home in quarantine. A few months ago, Bailyn bravely posted videos of her disorder, which quickly resulted in 3 million followers. But the journey to TikTok fame hasn't been easy on Bailyn, and it certainly hasn't been easy on her parents.
Bailyn was about 7 years old when we first noticed a tic. She had this odd neck movement. Around 16, Bailyn started having more tics.
She would have odd noises or squeaks.
Oof. Once COVID hit, tics were coming a lot faster and more aggressively.
I could hear her from the other room, either tapping or screeching, or she would just yell out a random word.
Yeah, you fat slob.
By the time we got her into the doctor, there were multiple movements. An arm flail followed by a neck, followed by kicking herself.
Bailyn had a combination of Tourette's and OCD. Tourette's causes Bailyn to do uncontrollable things, even simple things. Eating a sandwich, she eats half the sandwich, wears part of the sandwich, and throws part of the sandwich.
You're done. You're done.
Coffee mugs. She would bang this off your head 3 times. But if it broke the second one, she would still hit you with the broken one the 3rd time.
There was a knife that one of the kids had left out, and I came down the stairs and saw her doing one of these, and she had to do it 3 times.
She can't have this. She can't even have this. I don't want to have her hit herself in the throat, but even more too, I also don't want to be stabbed in the neck. Cutting boards, the wood one, we don't leave that out either, because you don't want her to, she'll pick it up and bang it on her head like a lunch tray.
It's no different than the safety you'd have for a toddler.
The hardest part about Tourette's is when we go out in public, people will be like, you gotta be kidding me, what's wrong with you, are you on drugs?
Around November of last year, Bailyn decided to do TikTok so that the world could better understand the life that she's living.
My body's obviously, been ticking all day.
There's 3 million people following her on TikTok that want to hear her story. But once the camera does stop rolling, she's still in my living room, struggling with it every day.
Well, it's good to meet you both.
You too.
How do you guys feel about Bailyn going this public about everything that's happening with her? I know it's been part of her life from a very early age, but now it's certainly amplified and she's going really public with it.
I think we have mixed feelings. A part of it is once you put yourself out there, you can never take it back.
I'm a little more of the concern about, obviously once you hit send, there's good, there's bad, but there's also evil.
You can't unring that bell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the trolls and that sort of thing while we're here today, because I want to put that into a context. But there was a time when this was much less prominent in her life and didn't really affect her activities of daily living and her pursuit of her goals and dreams, right?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
And do you think it was the pandemic and her having so much time with her thoughts and alone and all that really triggered this to the next level, or do you think it was something else?
I think it was a combination of a lot of it, because now as you're home and it's COVID, there's no more school. As a parent, you notice your kid doing these behaviors, and it's to the point now where those screeches become more frequent, more frequent, more frequent.
Right. Just from the standpoint of a parent watching something that you can't really do anything about, how does this affect the two of you?
Well, our relationship is really strong, so we're kind of on the same platform with everything. You know, she has made our lives and our family stronger.
Absolutely.
You know, it's her journey to set forward, obviously, but in terms of us and the family, we're more in like protective mode, and you know, just making sure that we're all taking care of Balin, and with that comes some consequences to some other children, but we know.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there are how many children total?
There's six total.
Right. And she does absorb a lot of resources, a lot of time.
Absolutely. Because it was so abrupt, so quick, it was kind of like, oh, now everyone's got to be on the back burner because we have got to address what's happening with Balin. We've got to get to this doctor. We've got to go here. It just became almost like a medical emergency.
Right. And lifestyle-wise as well, because there's OCD involved here, which is
Right.
often comorbid
Yes.
with Tourette's. And you said, for example, because of that element, if she was driving a car and even had a fender bender with someone, she has to do things in threes right now.
Yes,
so
sir.
she might well back up and hit them twice more.
Yes, sir.
With a serious OCD, it's an irresistible impulse. It's like it's so strong within her that she couldn't resist it if her life depended on it. It is an irresistible impulse, and you recognize that, where if she like rear-ended somebody, she might have the irresistible impulse to back up and hit him again and back up and hit him again.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't not do that. And you're concerned about that.
Absolutely.
Oh, highly concerned. I mean, when she smashes her head, her phone off her head, she has to do it 2 more times. So to sit there and watch her do that, it's painful. It's really painful. So we've come up with different techniques and mechanisms. You know, we put our hand in front of her, or she'll say, you need to just put your hand in front of me right now so I can do it, and I'll smash, you know. There's parts that are, but there's parts that are really fun too. Like, she's starting to have fun with all of it, because I think that she knows that this is what she has right now. And even though
She lets
the
go.
trajectory of her life is, the goal is to seek as much treatment as possible, get as much help for her as possible, that one moment at a time, one day at a time, 1 second at a time for her.
Yeah. And it's not all dismal future-wise. Coming up, Balin says after going viral, some followers claimed she was faking it and just trying to get attention. So how did Balin react to that?
When I see my daughter ticking and hitting herself and screeching,
You're done!
it breaks my heart, because there's nothing I can do as a dad to stop that, but I'm not quitting on my kid. There's no quit. You move forward and you make it better.
Well, Julie and Alan say their daughter Balin suffers from Tourette syndrome, OCD, and depression, but copes by raising awareness on social media. Balin says going viral has helped her gain confidence, although it still isn't easy.
My name is
You're done! You're done!
My name is Balin. I suffer with Tourette syndrome.
Hello! Yeah!
I started showing myself on TikTok having Tourette's because other people were making me feel ashamed of who I was. When I went to go see my first neurologist, I was doing everything from hitting my foot off my head to throwing things to kicking. He pointed at me when my mom was crying and he goes, "Look at her. She can't work. Oof. She can't drive. She can't go to school. She can't do anything." It was very disheartening and heartbreaking. Even though my doctor said that to me, I got a job. It was really stressful. I actually had someone come in the store and refuse service from me because they didn't want to catch my condition. I actually had a mental breakdown at work one day because no one else is helping me, no one's sticking up for me. I'm just left up here with hundreds of people who just are making fun of me. Then I was in a store one day and a girl took videos of me. I left the store that day in tears and I was like, where are those videos going?
Yeah.
I decided it was time for me to take my power back and not let people take advantage of who I am. This is a disability and it's not a joke. People have accused me of faking Tourette's, but I've never heard one person say they want to live this way. I'm 19 years old and I can't go to concerts. I wasn't able to go to my senior prom. I can't go out to dinner. I can't drive, but I have an amazing boyfriend. I'm living with my best friend next year. I'm in college and I still plan on becoming a nurse. Just because I have Tourette's does not mean that I have to be trapped and kept away from society. Oof.
Well, Balin, it's good to meet you.
It's good to meet you too. Hi.
So,
You're bald.
How do you feel about being here today?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to show people how I live and that it's real. I live like this every day. You. And then I'm here to spread awareness about what I deal with.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
What made the decision, what helped you make the decision to go public with what you live with every day?
I was tired of hiding who I was. It's time to show people the real me, who I am.
Yeah. Do you still worry when you go out in public, like now, for example, that people judge you?
Yeah.
What do you think people think?
That I'm crazy.
Yeah. Are you?
No. No.
Has anybody ever,
Sometimes.
has anybody ever asked you that straight up?
They've told me before that you'd be a lot prettier if you weren't crazy. Oof, you're bald. Sorry.
But you say I'm bald?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that last week, actually.
She tells me every day.
Yeah, you're bald, you're bald, you're bald, you're bald. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. What is the most empowering thing about being on the internet and putting this out there for people to see? What's the most empowering thing about that?
The comments I get, how much help it's reached other people. I get comments from people that are like, if I have my son or daughter come home with their boyfriend or girlfriend, how would I act towards them? And I explain to them how they would act, just pretend like it's not there. I also get comments that tell me how inspirational I am and how they figured out that their kids have started to have tics. Dino Williams.
Have you had any second thoughts about going public?
Actually, when I first posted my first video, I didn't expect it to blow up, and it kind of made me a little bit nervous because all of the comments were negative, every single one of them.
Really?
Yes, they were all, you're faking it, you're doing it for clout, your parents just want money. Ugh. So it's just comments like that, and it was really heartbreaking because I live with this every day. It's very difficult. You're bald.
Well, people have accused you of faking this and have said, then put up your medical records, and you've said,
Want it up.
You said, I'm not going to do that.
I did once. I let it really get to me, and my parents contacted me, and they were like, take that down. And I was like, okay.
I couldn't agree with y'all more. I've been doing this for 45 years. This is very real. They did share with us the information from the Mayo Clinic. It's been properly diagnosed. It's 100% genuine. She is 100% genuine, brave, and courageous. Up next, Julie and Alan say most of their attention goes to Balin rather than their other 5 children because her Tourette's has gotten so bad. So how does the rest of the family handle it? We'll talk about that and what a day in the life is like for Balin.
Our family, we have 6 children. Even though the kids are all very accepting of Balin's situation,
Sometimes a little frustrated when she
Hair pull.
pulls the hair.
there's like almost some disability jealousy. So that makes me very sad.
Everything is like mission Balin, like we've got to get this girl right.
But right now she needs us the most.
Julie and Alan say out of their 6 children, Balin right now needs the most attention because life has been very challenging for her ever since her Tourette's worsened. Balin says she tries to focus on the positives and uses social media to share her story to bring more awareness. And, you know, Balin, one of the things that I've noticed, and I see it in your videos, you know I follow you, and I have been for a long time.
Yeah. She calls her mom, is like, I think this is a fraud. We're gonna do a virtual and we'll see. She's like, sit next to me and we'll see if it's real.
No, well, I shared with Robin, and this is my wife, Robin, right here, sitting there.
Hi.
And I came in, I told you, I said, I think this is one of the most courageous young women I've seen. I was humbled by your courage and what you were doing. And I so fight the stigma of these things. And I thought, my God, I'm humbled by what she's doing. And I was just so proud of what you were doing and am proud of what you're doing. And I asked him to contact you, but I followed you for a while and then asked him to contact you to see if you would come and share. And I love the fact that you, and I know it's not always this way, but I love the fact that you do have a sense of humor about some of this with yourself sometimes, and which really helps. It's got to, right?
It does have to help because I have to live with this for a long time. There's no if, and, or but if it'll go away or if it'll dissipate. It's just, I have to live the way I live, and I want to enjoy the way I live because it's my life and I get one life.
There are difficult tasks for Balin, like
You're done.
brushing
You're
your
done.
teeth and hair can be difficult, right?
Yeah, recently my mom has had to help me with brushing my hair. Right now I can get myself dressed, so that's a bonus. I can go to the bathroom by myself, but putting on my shoes is very difficult.
Using knives, plates, glasses, that's just not something you should be doing, right?
No.
Because with the OCD, you have to do things in threes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you pound a mug, like you were saying, and it breaks the first time, if you hit yourself in the head with a mug and it breaks the first time, you're going to hit yourself with a jagged mug the next 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
How is putting on makeup?
I don't like doing it. It's very difficult.
Well, here's a clip that Balin shared of putting on her makeup.
So I am back. I am feeling a lot better. So I figured I would do a video showing you how I do my makeup. I'm just going to casually that's also a new tip, just wanted to point that out. You're done. You're done. Wind up.
On a day like that, how long does it take you?
Maybe 30 minutes.
But you get it done.
I get it done, yeah.
You want to be a nurse,
I do want to be a nurse.
okay? And do you think that's a possibility for you?
It's very hard for me to talk about because there is a possibility that I could, and there is a possibility that it gets too bad to the point where I can't be one. It's something that means a lot to me because I've grown up very, very sick. I have a lot of health issues, a lot of problems, and every time I went to the hospital or to a doctor's office, they've always done their best to make sure that I am comfortable, I am welcome, and I am happy where I am in my stay. And I want to do that for other people.
Balin says stress and anxiety make her physical and verbal tics worse. We're going to talk about what those are because these things have a neurological basis, although they can be triggered by stress.
I really want to get married. I want to have children.
I worry about her future having children because of her Tourette's, shaking the baby or tapping the baby on the head 3 times or yanking the baby's arm.
I want to live my life like everyone else does.
Balin might not have the future that she dreamed of, but I know God has a plan for her.
And I'm curious, audience-wise here and virtually, have you learned something about Tourette's already just as we're talking about it? Raise your hand if you have. Does it also cause you to have compassion for it as you see it and understand it? Okay, got it.
So awesome.
Yeah, because you understand it. So you see, the impact that you're having, it does have that impact on people. And this is something that, as I say, it does interact with different other disorders like OCD, depression, and anxiety. And there are parts of it, coprolalia, which is a medical term to describe the involuntary, uncontrollable outburst of obscene words or socially inappropriate or derogatory remarks. And then there's copropraxia, which is related to the complex motor tic symptom, and that can involve obscene gestures. And these are neurobiological root cause for both symptoms. And it kind of involves faulty wiring of the inhibitory mechanism in the frontal cortex of the brain. And that does sometimes improve with age.
My medication, the first medication I was on, helped for everything. It made me function like a normal human being.
For about 4 months. So I don't know the medical term for it. I call it like resistant. I was like, oh, your body's just resistant to it now. Like,
Yeah, and she may well have built up a threshold where
it's just,
yeah. And you don't and you can't necessarily fix that by increasing the dosage because the side effects then become a problem.
right.
But there are different medications that you can rotate to, and there are some that are being developed. And you're open to trying different things, right?
Yes.
Like some transcranial magnetic stimulation that's being done here in LA and at Stanford. And I'm really looking into that right now with some really world-class experts. And those are non-invasive, no downside whatsoever. And we're really looking to see if we think that it can certainly help with the OCD, and it can certainly help with the depression. And so if we get to the point where we feel like that could be helpful, then we're going to talk to you about that.
You're done.
How do you want people to react to you when you do have a tic, you do have a spontaneous verbalization? How do you want people to react?
I'd appreciate it if people just pretended like it's not there. But I know sometimes that's hard because I laugh at them. So when I laugh, I give people permission to laugh.
A lot of people don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so it really helps for you to say, if they just
Want it up.
pretend that it's not happening, not attend to it, and just continue to deal with you, because it will pass and you continue the conversation, right?
Yes.
And you know, in spite of it all, I feel like we've had a very intelligent and informative conversation here today.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yes.
I want you guys to be part of this conversation going forward, because we're going to talk about haters on the internet and those that have negative things to say, and I want you to be very much tuned into that. Up next, a woman Balin is a huge fan of, singer and social media influencer Lele Pons, who also struggles with OCD, Tourette's, and depression. How is she able to handle it with social media? When you see these pictures, what do you see? The perfect life, fame, happiness? Well, what is the reality behind these photos? Lele Pons started off posting funny content on Vine and ended up becoming huge on social media with over 43 million followers. Now, she has been able to chase her music career singing with artists such as the Black Eyed Peas, Neo, and DrPhil. Now, what she posts seems to be flawless, but Lele has been struggling with mental illness since she was 9 years old.
I started my career on Vine, and I was the first person to reach 1 billion loops. Say Lele. I transitioned from social media to music. People think that I have a perfect life. The public only sees what I want them to see. The truth is, I've been diagnosed with OCD, Tourette's, anxiety, and depression. My OCD has a lot to do with me repeating myself. Sorry, let me do it again. Sorry, again. Sorry, let me do it again, sorry. If it doesn't sound right, it's not perfect in my head, you ask again and again and again. You touch multiple things, multiple times.
One of those OCDs that I had was throwing the pencil. So I would throw the pencil and I have to grab it in a certain way, like this, and then didn't feel right. So I would do this, do it again, pick it up, didn't feel right.
There was one time I was in the shower, turning on and off the shower handle. I was in the shower around like 45 minutes. I have a huge obsession to go and find negative comments.
On a typical photo, I would get like, let's say 8,000 comments, and I would look through the comments until I found a negative comment. I read those comments again and again until it feels right.
That obviously makes you doubt yourself and not like yourself because you're obsessed with reading bad things about you. The OCD triggers the depression triggers the anxiety.
When I'm very anxious, I twitch a lot, like this.
Social media, I am very grateful because it's giving me the success that I have today, but honestly, is it worth how my mental health has turned out through the years? No.
Well, it's so good to meet you.
Thank you, so amazing to meet you too.
Now, you are huge on social media, and you say it's been both good and bad.
Yes, I'm very grateful for everything that has come, opportunities, and I can't say I haven't enjoyed any of them because I have definitely been very happy. However, like when it comes to stability, when it comes to what happens behind the scenes, it's the worst.
Lately said she wanted to come clean about her mental health struggles and created a YouTube docuseries to share her real life with her fans. Here's a clip.
My deepest, darkest secret is that I have OCD.
I just have to do it one more time.
Don't do it. Hold on to it. You can. We're gonna do it together.
One more time.
When I first met Lily, she came in as an emergency situation.
I just had to touch everything. And if I didn't touch everything, like, I thought my family was gonna die.
She couldn't really function.
My OCD is very powerful thoughts that make me do stuff that I don't wanna do. It got to a point that I could not move. My mind and my body shuts down because of my OCD.
It's a struggle that is 24 hours a day.
Do you want to take a break? Okay.
That let people know it wasn't a perfect life.
For people, it's like, no, you can't have this because all these years you haven't shown that.
And you were watching when Balin was on, and you see what she's going through. You relate to that.
Yes, I think that what she's doing is brilliant. I love how she turned a struggle into something positive, and she's a hero to many people. This is why this is why I did it, to be someone like her.
Yeah.
She's an inspiration.
Yeah, the two of y'all are making a huge difference. Up next, Lily says her Tourette's are milder than her OCD, but depression is actually her worst battle.
I was diagnosed with depression many years ago, and I feel like there's people that think that because I have this life, fame and money, I shouldn't be depressed. Well, I am. When you're depressed, sometimes you don't even have a reason, you know? And you're like, why are you why are you sad? You have everything. You're so ungrateful. But depression isn't about appreciation, it's about a mental health disorder.
But Lily says one of her biggest OCD triggers is comparing herself to others and reading negative comments on social media, which can put her into a deep depression. When you talk about the impact of the haters, the negative people, the ones that go on there and talk trash, you say you actually seek those comments out.
I want to look for them.
Why?
It's an obsession that I have. It's like the need to know. It's part of the OCD. It's like just the need to tell, the need to know. I need to know who's talking about me bad. I need to know. And I go and look for them until I find them. It's like an obsession, it's like a ritual every single day. Not once a day, many times an hour I do it.
Yeah, and do you have to find 3 comments?
Yes, I let these people control me and control my day. And at the end, I'm never gonna even remember them.
Do you read negative comments?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you seek them out?
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a lot of actual psychological research into these people that these trolls post inflammatory, off-topic, insincere messages to hurt, provoke others, and they typically hide behind fake names or phony accounts.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting that their makeup is antisocial and sadistic.
Something that, sir, you said that was very, very honest and very true was that he says that there's good comments, there are negative comments, and there are evil comments. And when I say there's a difference between evil and negative, negative might be someone gives an opinion. I don't like you. You're not funny. You're not pretty. You are whatever they think that you are. I don't like you. And there's others that are like, can you just die? I wish your mom got cancer that I get, you know? And what is that?
Well, those are the evil people.
Yes.
And
yeah, that's not, yeah.
these are the people that actually are so sick, they feel good about themselves for inflicting pain. And it's something called the dark triad. They have narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. And there's something called schadenfreude, and it's when joy is derived by someone from another person's misfortune.
Yes.
So it's this dark triad. These are people you don't want to meet in real life.
No, thank God I've never met one of them.
Yeah, they're ugly people, and they will go virtual to real world sometimes, so you've got to be careful.
Yeah.
So should Lele stay off social media in order to stay well? She's asked herself that before, but there's been huge upsides to it as well. If you had this to do all over again, if you went back to day one, if you knew then what you know now, would you do it?
I would have done it differently for sure. When I started, I was not taking my medication. I was not going to therapy. I'm gonna say I thought I was too cool, and I was like, I don't need that anymore. Went to LA, and my whole world went crashing down. Like depression came, my OCD got worse. When your OCD gets worse, when your depression gets worse, anxiety, then you become tired, and then my Tourette's came a little bit stronger. So I think that I would change that because I do love my life, right? But I did make a lot of mistakes due to the fact that I didn't put myself first when it came to mental health, and I was not stable. And that has been so hard for me to recover all these years. So I think that just like focusing more on myself and not being so caught up with, oh my God, I'm famous, I'm rich, that is such a big mistake. Like mental health is first. For me, it doesn't define you. Like what you have doesn't define you. It makes you special. It's who you are. And that's something that Bailey, you've done. You made this super special. You made like something beautiful out of this. And that's the best thing you can do, you know? And I'm very proud of you for that.
You know, that's so important for you to talk about. And, you know, that's Robin's message that she's been beating the drum on for decades. No matter what else happens, take care of yourself first, because you can't give away what you don't have. If you don't take care of yourself, you're going to wind up emotionally bankrupt.
Yes.
And then you've got nothing to give to yourself, to those you love, to anybody. And your point is, don't feel selfish about it, right?
That's right. You can't feel guilty about taking care of yourself because you're doing it for a reason, for a purpose, for your own well-being, for your life, so you live longer, so you can take care of others, so you can take care of those you love.
The last year, I've been more off social media, and people have noticed, where is she? You're not posting as much, and I've been the happiest.
Your message is great, and that is you would do it different. You would have taken care of yourself. You would have focused on your mental health. And Balin's message is saying, I'm not going to hide with this. I'm going to own it and put it out there. And don't you guys think both are really giving a great message? So I thank you both, and I can't thank you enough for your message, and Balin for yours. And I hope you follow these folks and you heed the message, because it's so important. You've inspired millions of people, and don't hope that those haters are right, because they're not. To all of you here at home, in the audience, in the virtual audience, don't feed the haters, just ignore them. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.